Well, until it happens to you, it's hard to believe that your cell phone company could charge you hundreds, even thousands of dollars for calls that you did not make. But that's just what's happening. And Jeanette Pavini is here with more. So, Jeanette, I would suspect that this is something that the cell phone industry doesn't want to talk about.
No, they don't. And Anne, it could happen if thieves get a hold of your cell phone. Your wireless provider may hold you responsible for fraudulent calls. Our CBS 5 Consumer Watch investigation reveals that cell phone companies could do a lot more to protect you against fraud than they're willing to tell you.
Fully loaded, deceptively thin.
Cell phone companies spend millions advertising their great services
At a very popular price.
But one thing they seem to keep mysteriously secret is how sophisticated they are at detecting fraudulent calls if your cell phone is stolen. Anne Huang of San Francisco found out just how sophisticated when she returned from a vacation in South Africa.
I got a phone call from a Jane.
Jane from Singular said they had detected a suspicious spike in calls from South Africa and had shut off her service. That's when Anne realized her phone was missing from her luggage. She was thankful that Singular had detected the theft, but gratitude turned to shock when Jane from Singular told her
the usage is $16,388.
And Singular expected Anne to pay the bill.
I said, what? I'm shocked. I asked her to repeat the number. I think maybe I'm her wrong. She repeated it several times, even to the cents.
It's one of several similar cases we've reported. Singular charged Wendy Nguyen $26,000 when her phone was stolen. T-Mobile charged Pamela Woodson $1,700 plus penalties. Sprint charged Eileen Pereira nearly $16,000.
Hi, Jay.
Huang disputed the charges and tried to show Singular evidence that she had left South Africa before the fraudulent calls were even made. Nevertheless, Singular charged her another $1,000 in penalties, threatened her credit rating, and sent her to a collection agency, leaving Anne with a simple question.
I think should I pay for the criminal things?
A fair question, considering if Anne's credit card was stolen instead of her cell phone. Under federal law, she would have only been liable for the first $50 in fraudulent charges. Her credit card company would have been responsible for the balance. That's why credit card companies are so vigilant, using sophisticated anti-fraud technology to protect themselves against losses. We wanted to know how the wireless industry fights fraud, but they wouldn't tell us. So we went to this company in San Diego, Fair Isaac Corporation, the people who provide fraud protection technology for most of the credit card industry.
We've taken that same technology, adapted it, and deployed it in telecom.
Tony Zarella is vice president for cell phone fraud at Fair Isaac. He says the company spent years building computer systems that can analyze billions of cell phone calls around the world while they are happening. A major deviation in someone's normal calling pattern is supposed to immediately alert cell phone company investigators.
They would identify that there's a suspicious activity. They would investigate. In some cases, it's going to be so blatant, they may just shut off the account. Other cases, if there's some question, they may attempt to contact the individual.
So the question is, if wireless companies can detect fraud the same as credit card companies, why are they charging their customers thousands of dollars for calls they didn't make?
I think it comes down to greed.
Consumer advocate Bill Nussbaum says, unlike credit cards, there is no federal law to stop cell phone companies from passing fraud charges along to customers.
There's absolutely no incentive for them to do anything else. Because the way they figure it, hey, if we can get the money out of them, we're ahead of the game. Even though we shouldn't even be charging.
And as for why wireless companies appear to be so secretive about their fraud protection?
I think the reason they don't tell people that they have this security system is because then there would be really no excuses for them to be billing people for calls that they, didn't authorize.
But as it turns out, there are laws here in California to protect customers like Anne, but no one has been forcing the wireless industry to obey them. Deputy Attorney General John Donoff.
It is not legal for them to attempt to collect money from customers for services that the customers did not authorize.
Donoff says the Attorney General's office is now investigating the cell phone companies.
We're on the case. You've done a public service by bringing the anguish of these folks to the attention of both the PUC and the Attorney General's office, and we're not ignoring them.
In Ann Huang's case, after we contacted Singular, the company said it had made, quote, a series of inadvertent human errors and reversed all charges. Singular's complete statement is on our website at cbs5.com. Wireless companies also reversed the charges on the other cases we reported, again, after we contacted them. For more information on cell phone fraud and our series, The Wireless Runaround, please visit cbs5.com.
All right, it looks as if they don't do anything unless they're shamed publicly.
Well, it seems that once we get involved, boy, it changes things. And that's about it, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jeanette. Appreciate that.